Hello and welcome back to All of Rine. Today's topic will be, should I share marital problems with my friends? Now, there's so many things that happen in our marriages, in our relationships, that we have and we ought to keep private, okay? Those are personal things that you should never ever share with friends or family, okay? Now, looking at the topic and saying and asking, should I share marital problems with my friends? Yes and no. The things that happen in your marriage that you really want to share, some things that you feel that you cannot discuss with your partner and that your partner may not understand exactly where you're coming from because he too is involved in all of this. There's some infuriating things that your partner may have said to you, or he has crossed the line and you feel that these are the things that I really need to tell my friends, share with them, and get their second opinion on how to deal with all of these issues, or things that are really pressing that you feel that they're really something that you shouldn't share, but you want to share because you have friends that you can talk to. Well, yes and no. I'll tell you why if you continue to stay tuned. Let us digest this together. So, talking about the things that have happened in your marriage or in your relationship could be, talking to your friends or family about it could be very tricky. It also depends on the people you're talking to. Sometimes we talk to the wrong people. When I say the wrong people, I like your friends. Sometimes they have no skill, no knowledge, they are biased, and sometimes they feel your pain and don't give you the right information that you should have. And because some of them don't even have the experience, and sometimes some of them have something that they have gone through in their lives that they were not even able to fix, right? And everybody, when it comes to relationship matters or marital problems, everybody wants to be a therapist, okay? Everybody wants to think that this is the best issue for you, or solution for you. But you wear the shoe, you understand where you're coming from, you know the problem that you're facing. And for me personally, I think the best person to discuss with should be your spouse, okay? Whether your husband or your wife should be the person that you should actually sit down and talk to. I get it. Reason why sometimes we're not able to talk to our spouse is because the fear of being yelled at or screamed at. Let me put it that way, not necessarily screamed at, but the fact that at the end of the day, you might not be passing the right information or saying it the right way because you're angry or you're yelling, or you feel that the person is not listening to you, or at the end of the day, you're trying to just avoid that argument that might lead to both of you yelling at each other or just being uncomfortable with each other, right? And that's the reason why most people just don't want to bottle up. They go to their friends or go to their family to talk about the issues that are happening in their marital homes, right? And for me, I feel that sometimes your friends actually can be really biased because they're not really, they don't have the skills, right, to actually talk to you about it. And some of them do. If you find the ones that are really skilled enough, with experience and calm enough to listen to you and give you the right advice, why not? But at the end of the day, I would think that if you cannot resolve this with your partner, then you should actually seek help, seek professional help. Not just going to your family or your friends. Seek professional help, seek help from therapists who have seen cases like this over and over, or people who are actually going to go the next level or take the next step to actually sort out ways for you to mend your relationship, right? Because what happens is when you go to families and tell them issues that are really very intimate, or issues that are very sensitive, they might get angry and get biased. And I'm back. My battery got depleted and I had to change it, and and I also noticed that my microphone wire was just sitting right here on my chest the whole time. Well, it's okay. We can never be too perfect, right? Just like in any marriage, there's no marriage that is perfect, right? There's no relationship that is perfect. There's always work to be done. It's always ongoing, right? If you find that your relationship or your marriage is so perfect, then there's a problem. Then you have to start looking into that. Just like my recording, my shirt, my everything. Nothing is perfect. There's no picture perfect when it comes to your marriage, right? Or your relationship with anybody, right? As the case may be. There's always going to be that time where you have to go through hiccups in your marriage, right? But finding the best solution, like I said, will be the best thing that would ever happen to you. Sometimes we tend to sweep things underneath the carpet and just feel like it doesn't really matter. I'm not hurting. I don't think this is really an issue for me to talk about, but most times it's very important. Now you have to understand that when you are in a marriage, right? When you're married to somebody, every little detail counts, okay? Every little thing counts. I don't like it when I hear people say, I don't care, doesn't matter, we're always there, we'll always be together. You're really taking that relationship or that marriage for granted. Don't take it for granted, okay? Everything is very important, very important. My spouse is smiling, I should know why he's smiling. If he's not smiling, I should know why he's not smiling. The reason why we came together is because we love each other. We want to know more about each other. It's always that ongoing thing, right? Don't think you know him too well. You know him too well enough not to hurt you, not to do things. Your expectations are very high. Like I said, we're never perfect. And so don't expect too much of your partner, okay? And which is the reason why if something happens, immediately tackle it. Call him and ask him, why is this thing happening like this? If there are no clear answers, then you really need to find out why those things are happening, and you need to sit down, because like I said, communication is very important, and keeping that periodic tab, check up on your marriage is very important. What is it that I need to do to spice up things? What is it that we need to do to spice up things, right? There are times when the man might offend you, and there are times when you might offend him, and sometimes we just sweep it underneath the carpet, but it becomes the elephant in the room over time. We all have our different characters, attitude, different ways of life before we met each other. We're different individuals, right? Decided to come together and be together. And so don't think that those things just change because you're now married, we're now together. He's not going to leave, I'm not going to leave. It doesn't work that way, right? You still have to understand each other as you go, because this is the thing. Even with your family, your father, your mother, your brothers and sisters, there's always that ongoing thing. With your children, if you have kids, there's always that ongoing thing. People change, things happen to them, right? And you're not there when it happened, right? And so they begin to form their character based on those things. And which is why you have to ask questions when you notice that something is out of character or out of place. It is your concern. It's not something that you want to sweep underneath the carpet and be like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Oh, it doesn't matter if my daughter is not talking to me, my son. It matters. You want to find out and make sure that you solve that problem as soon as possible. Just like any other business, okay? I hate to talk about business right now because I already did that video. Like I said, go watch it, why you should treat your relationship as a business. Then you understand why it is very important when something as little as this happens in your marriage, in your relationship, why it is very important to tackle it. Because when you patch something that is about to break and you patch it and you kind of close that part, then it helps than just leaving it and feeling, oh, it's just a small hole, I don't have to do anything about it. It will not expand. It will expand. If care is not taken, it will expand and just explode because you've been keeping it. And so you want to go to a therapist, like I said. You want to go to somebody who can actually advise you, who has the experience, who has the expertise to advise you on what to do in your marriage. People who can actually tell you not really what to do in your marriage, but also just check, help you listen to you very well and digest everything you've told them, and see if your spouse can also come. Because if he's a stakeholder in that relationship, if you go and you can have this communication with him and open your heart and tell him how you feel, and tell him how you feel truly about this relationship, and that you let him know that this thing, if it's not being resolved right now, it could lead to this, it could lead to that, and see his reaction and see if he's willing to do something about it. And also, you need to ask him, do you want your own therapist? Because sometimes some men feel that if I go with you to a female therapist, she might be biased because she's a female, or and also to the men out there, if a woman goes with you to your therapist, he could be biased because he's a male therapist. As funny as this could be, as funny as this sounds, is the truth. You want to be able to get to that agreement, to get to that closure. Okay, that agreement of, who do we go to? Who do we think we should go to? And look for the therapist together. So whether it's a man or a woman, both of you are looking for that therapist together. Together, I said, together. You're seeking help together. And so everybody's happy with the outcome. Not you finding that person and asking him to come with you. Sometimes it doesn't work. Your therapist, and then he begins to tell you your therapist as opposed to our therapist. And so involve him enough for you to be able to go with him. But if he doesn't, or enough for him to come with you, right? But if he doesn't want it, because sometimes some people may not be in that space and feel that I'm not ready to share anything or talk to somebody, it's okay. Pray. As a Christian, I will always throw this in here. Pray to the Supreme Being. There is someone who would listen to you, a Supreme God that will listen to you. Pray to him. Take all your prayers, all your supplications to him in prayers. Talk to him and pray about it and see things happen. Okay? Pray. Be calm to receive, to hear, and put this on the table as well, to God, and talk to God. This is what I want. I don't know. I can't see the future. You, God, can see the future. Help me. And he will help you. Regardless of where this thing is going to take you to, at the end of the day, you will definitely be falling on a soft ground, on a good ground. And so if you're out there and you're going through difficulties in your marriage, in your relationship with your partner, please, the best person to go to is seeking help from a professional therapist that can sit down with both of you and actually see what you guys are going through, listen to what you guys are going through, or what you and your husband is going through, or both of you are going through, and give you the best solution and try to help with the best solution. Because no matter what you do, even if you involve a therapist, doesn't mean anything if both of you are not putting your hands together to actually make it work or make it happen. It becomes a wasted session. It becomes a wasted therapy, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you're being told, both of you go back together, pray together, and talk to each other the reason, and remind yourselves the reason why both of you came together and the whole future that both of you planned, and go back to your drawing boards together. Women, especially women, because men may not have time. The way we think is not the same thing as the way men think, right? But if you are able to drag him enough to see how much you care about him, how much you love him, and how much you want this, and look at him and feel if he's feeling the same for you. And if you are on the same page and he wants this to work out and you want it to work out, then you will see that will be the greatest therapy of them all. I don't know what to say to you, but I wish you the very best in your relationship, and I hope that you're able to resolve the issues. But whatever happens, remember remember to always adjust your crown, because you're beautiful the way you are. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.